Hey folks, we are back playing Late Age Home and in Bozmos, and we have a few things happening. We had a dire port and go up. Oh wait, is this 1 second, we're gonna go back. I'm one turn too close. I think we were on turn 68. This is gonna be a twofer because the episode's not super exciting right now, or the turns. So we're eating Vanheim, and Vanheim has basically all in. Or they're going to send everything they have at Marignan. So we're going to accept that. Importantly, Dale Denton has cast Become God, Become Demigod, and so he is now a Pretender God. If he dies, he'll lose this artifact, which is fine. And it's a nice artifact because it causes recuperation, which is, we have Vessel of Misery already, but still, this is pretty nice. I think we send our god on top of some... Oops. On top of some storm demons, which is kind of cool. So we send him with the friendship hat over here to make some friends. Excuse me. Let me turn the team color squares on. And yeah, you can see we made a lot of friends. And we got both the commanders, which is nice. Though I think maybe one of them left or something. Or maybe there's a different RNG. Because you can see we got 2 commanders and we got 2 of the other dudes. So very nice. Very good haul. Importantly, they're air randoms, which is kind of cool. So they're actually going to be pretty helpful. We can kit them out with full gear, like we've been doing for our disease demons and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Over here, we send a golem against old Vanheim, and that was just to make sure there was nothing over here targeting it. We are going to send a different dude on top of that this turn. The dude we're sending on top will be able to kill PD, but we wanted to send the golem there in case there was something else patrolling. We found a rock slide spring. We're suiciding these 2 dudes into Alcara. I actually don't remember what their bless is. Let's take a look. Their bless is shock resistance 15. So these guys, it's a pretty interesting strat. They can do Wrathful Skies, and I know they're thinking about doing like huge MR plays, basically. So that's kind of interesting. Lizard Tyrant. Huh. Grab and Swallow is a pretty strong attack. Or Tyrant Lizard. Interesting. I don't think they have I don't see a ton of Sacreds, though. So I'm not... Their Bless is pretty strong for... I guess it's mostly for their... They do have... We'll have to take a look. I don't remember if they get recruited anywhere Sacreds. We have a nap 6 with them now, so I don't think we're going to be fighting them anytime terribly soon. But still, out of curiosity, let's take a look. Dreamwalkers, which you can get in the capital. Yeah, they are not an everywhere sacred nation. They have really cool stuff they can do that targets magic beings for buffs. But yeah, anyway, we sent some more horrors and a bunch of blood hunting operations. Yeah, these guys suiciding. This is the army he is marching out to go kill Vanheim. This is what was in whatchamacallit? Arco. So the second cap he took. A bunch of Van Here's, a bunch of Storm Demons. This is kind of like what a late game Vanheim army looks like. A bunch of Storm Demons, a bunch of Van Here's. He's got some mounted herdmen. I know this player likes the Sacred Cav. They're pretty good. I don't think they're really raiders. They're really great in an army. He manages to kill 2 Van Jarls. I think this is friendly fire from the Storm Demons. Yeah. Storm Demons are scary. All right. Devil takes this out. Harvester of Sorrows. I think this was my guy that had a Vine Shield and a Lifelong Protection. Yeah, that works pretty good. And more disease demons rolling around. Patala breaks out. So this is controlled by the AI. They break out and they fight Yis. And Yis has a pretty scary army. So that's that. And Blood Marshal went on top of Old Vanheim. And this was storming a fort in 2 Spruce Forest, I believe. Well, no. Okay, was it? No. I guess that guy was patrolling. Yeah, and then here we have a battle in the Grey Barrier. And we just sent in a bunch of vampires. I'm not really sure. Apparently this is a research corps. These are all commanders here. And he has Ashes to Ashes, which actually is really good against... it's basically a Fire Bless, I think. And so that's really good against vampires, because we're vulnerable to fire. But we also have a little mini Turbo Communion going back here. And they're capable of making lots and lots of undead. And eventually we just chip away at them. And that's that. So we have taken this fort. I think we got some items. Yeah, we found some lightless lanterns, which is nice. And we have a battle here where Abyssia is attacking, or Vanheim is taking a fort from Abyssia. And that's a pretty clean win. And yeah, we kill some Dryad Mothers. These are mostly independents that are hiding. I didn't know this works this way, but it's kind of cool. It's been murdering independents that are hidden, mostly not in my land, mostly in other people's lands. And then when the commanders are dead, the troops usually have to attack. So, and then they're going to run. So it's kind of interesting how that happens. But yeah, I think there was a fertility cult here that this cleared out. So kind of cool for dealing with fertility cults, and there are a lot of fertility cults. This turn, the plan is we're going to storm with really low commitment stuff. We're basically storming with like 5 vampires, and they're going to be in a communion, and they're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to have another guy joining in doing anti-magic and soul slay. If they have a monolith, it might kill him. He's got a lifelong protection, so there's going to be imp spam. And I'm sending inside also, yeah, also 1 demon, this guy. And he's got regen, because he's got the Berserk, the Lycanthrope's amulet. And he's got a blade of cold iron. So he'll be able to kill the monolith. I don't know if he'll be able to, like, kill it before it reinvigs back. So if he might just time out the monolith and die, is what I think would happen. But he also could die to it, because, you know, his MR is not great. It'll be up to, like, 22 with anti-magic. We can do it so we could kill the monolith before Phoenix Pyre, like before he reinvigorates for the next Phoenix Pyre. But I don't want to do that, because what I want to do is I want to go ahead and move all my guys on top of Vanheim, Old Vanheim. We want to, speed is of the essence. So we're doing things which are cheap and low commitment to potentially maximize speed. We're building a lab here. This is where we have the Dusk Spiral, amongst some other good sites. But this mage will be critical All the death randoms are going to be very good at doing Vessel of Misery, and the air randoms are going to allow me to more easily do like Wailing Winds and stuff. The earth randoms can also do Shade Mails in a pinch. And the nature randoms technically could help with Vessel of Misery, but not really. I mean, sort of. You know, because I guess, yeah, we'll see. The nature randoms may be okay. Death is, I think you need Death 4 Nature 3 to cast it. But we'll see. It's going to take a lot of boosters with these guys to do it anyway. I'll probably need to like actually map it out. But first, we're going to get a fort here and Temple and Lab it and start making these dudes. So the process, of course, build a lab and then stone construction fort. So that's that. And yeah, we're going to be moving over here. We're raiding a bunch of the underwater stuff. I'm bringing in some Disease Demon Chaff to accompany this guy. This guy is going to be continuing to raid the island. We've got this dude who's going to, basically he's going to be like just a scout, because I'm going to hit this with horrors. I didn't realize horrors can target underwater. I should have been blasting Yes with horrors underwater too. I don't know why I wasn't. For some reason I thought they couldn't target underwater. Well, the reason is because it says you can't cast underwater, which means I was thinking you can't target underwater, but it means you literally can't be underwater when you're casting it. So anyway. That is that. So anyway, we're continuing to raid. I've told Jotunheim is like down here, and I've told Jotunheim they can get some of this stuff. I don't know how much we're going to leave for them, but we'll leave them some. We also are very close to getting, whoops, a scout. Guess we can't see it yet. I'm very close to getting a scout in here onto Silent Seas and get it to Yis's capital. But I think this is the first turn graphs go up, which is kind of a little weird because our score graph has gone just through the roof as we've eaten Vanheim. So that is a thing, which is a little noticeable. Sadly, a bunch of our land is water. Now, we want it because we want the income and all of that, but it means it's going to be pretty hard to defend. And I think that's about it. Did we get a white mage this time? I think the home slice here. I think he's bat transforming Mr. Edwards. Again, this is the father of Angie and Pineapple Express, to continue on with the Pineapple Express theme. Yeah, he's teleporting underwater, which is nice. And if they steal the artifact, I'm guaranteed this white mage. So that's nice. Yeah. We're also going to be, not this turn, but soon, we're going to be teleporting our golem over here. I probably should have done it this turn so that when I resummon him... Yeah. Oh no, we're moving him over there. We are doing that this turn. Okay, so Lab's going up here. We're moving him this turn, which means when we summon him, we'll summon him on this site, the Statue of the Sitting God. And that will give me a nice little hefty discount on my Twiceborn bullshit. So that's going to be this golem's new home. And that's mostly it. We're doing a lot of blood hunting. I think this turn we're also trying to put up, because there's a hole in there's an empty spot. Somebody put up Eyes of the God, but Abyssia lost their god or something. I can't remember exactly what happened. Anyway, there's an open spot. So I'm like, whatever. We'll put up Malediction again. We did it with 400 gems, which is enough to override a lot of the lesser globals if it hits it. But it won't it won't override one of the other blood globals, which is fine. So that's that. And we're going to go ahead and go to my current turn. And one of the reasons I wanted to record this right now, because my turn's due in a few hours, is I wanted to think about, like, what's the Diplo? Like, what are my next moves? Because it's looking like we're going to get Vanheim pretty easily. And I've got to think through this. And sometimes talking through it is the best way. And that's one of the things that's fun when you play, like, when you have people to talk to in a game, like, that are on your side. Because normally, because you want to be so careful sharing information, you can't talk about too much stuff in a game a lot of times. For me, the person I talk to is y'all. So here's the thing. We are now tied with Yis in terms of province count. Income, he's still like 30 or 40% ahead of me. Gym income, he's still ahead of me. But gym income, we're catching up. Some of that, a lot of that's from forest fire. So my gym, the thing is for me, and this is one of the stupid things about this game, not Dominions, but the mod set we have, is that some of the gym gens overstate your gym income. Like the fire, like forest fire, because I have to spend gems to get a temporary site. And so the amount of gems I'm getting is not this much. Because I'm having to spend fire gems to get a lot of it. And that's the only one I'm really spamming out. Meanwhile, other ones, you can get a conjuration discount site. Like if you find a conjuration discount site, you can just start making trees of life or whatever. And do that ad infinitum. And the result of such witchcraft is that you have gems which are coming in on the commander, so they're invisible to the score graph. And it's also bullshit because you get a huge discount on them. So the payback period shrinks, with which things which grow exponentially, that's a problem. So, you know, like a 30% discount site can mean you like double your payback. Like you'll be twice as much after like, you know, a certain number of turns. So it's a big deal having a conjuration discount site and casting those stupid spells. But anyway, this is my current turn. So we sent this Dale Denton over here to try to capture some of these werewolves. And he didn't actually do a great job. He only got one. So I was kind of sad. He had the friendship hat on, but he didn't make very many friends. He mostly killed things. And then, let's see what else. We cast a bunch of Reaping of Souls. There's a few things we need to figure out strategically. One is what the hell we're going to do with all these death gems. I really don't even know. I mean, I really don't know. We could maybe do... Like, maybe I death empower another caster and do another Vessel of Misery thing. That's a thing I could do. I'm not even sure, to be honest, guys. We've been casting Voice of Tiamat. We're doing a bunch of Reaping of the Souls. And Mr. Edwards is back as a white mage. We've cleared out the PD of Relay. We have stolen a werewolf. And for the battles, this is up on Fall of Sarl, which is that moon right above me. We've killed some Dwarven Smiths, which I wasn't exactly intending. Here we're going on top of Old Vanheim. We killed the PD here. This was first hit by... oh, wait, no, where is this? Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I think this was a fort, though. Or was it? No. This was just the province south of that fort. Okay. We captured this fortress in Archive. So we'll actually watch this one. This was we sent in a pretty ragtag band of dudes. There's some storm demons, a few sylphs. This guy scripted to retreat. He is not trying to make this terribly difficult for me. And I think because that mage ran, I think that caused them to run. They would have lost anyway, but... and then it's just a matter of working our way through the PD, which we do with some efficiency and vigor. And yeah, now we have another cap. And then we also stormed this fort in the Star we bought from Yes. We paid 1,000 gold for this, because I needed a way onto Aselun. And yeah, we take this. So there wasn't much inside. So now we get to... Okay, there's a few strategic questions we have to answer. Nature, we're banking up to do Gift of Nature's Bounty. Which I have to think about that, because there's people who are spamming Tree of Life, and they're going to have an enormous nature income. So I'm not certain if I can keep it up. I think I would need to be at least like a nature 11 to cast it and maybe keep it up. So I'd really have to think about it. Really have to think about it. Maybe even like a nature 12. But the real question is, how do I spend my death gems? Sorry, I had to pause it there. So we were saying, what are strategic uses for death gems? Well, one, and it's the most game-breaking thing in the game right now, is Vessel of Misery. So potentially I could like death empower one of these guys twice, spend 100 death gems, and have another caster. It's honestly not ridiculous for how broken this spell is. The problem is I'm starting to run out of like, I mean, not really. It's like, do I really want to how many forgers do I want to have? So I don't love that, but that's an option. Sorry, I had to pause again. So yeah, we've got to figure out what to do with our death gems. There's a few options. One is like, in vanilla, one of the things you often will do with your death gems is you'll spam out like Legion of Whites. In this mod pack, like with Dominions Enhanced, there's a bunch more morale plays you can make, and I don't think Legion of Whites have enough morale to make the cut. But maybe they do. They're 17 morale, but I don't know if that's quite enough. They have the nice thing about Legions of Whites is they have magic weapons. You get a lot of them. They're reasonably cheap. They have high strength. They have good armor. The problem with them is they die to the stuff that death dies to, which is like, you know, Withering Bones and such. Banishment, Soul Slay. There's a lot of things that'll kill them pretty easily. And they're not so cheap that they're disposable. The other option is we just pour out tarts, which is an interesting idea. Tarts are really annoying, though. I honestly don't really like tarts. The insanity stuff is annoying. But that's an option. So anyway, these are, we'll kind of go through the different death gem sinks. Those are some options in Conjuration. We also could potentially spam out Mound Fiends, because we have a Regeneration Bless for Undead, so they would get regen. The problem, though, is I feel like it's pretty expensive, and I'm going to have like 1 million thugs. And so to have more Mound King thugs, like, I don't think that's what we need. Same thing for all of this. I mean, we could make more chassis for thugs. I don't think we need more thug chassis. I don't think that's what we need. I mean, the other thing that is traditionally a sink, but they've increased the cost of, is Wraith Lords. Wraith Lords are really good, but, you know, I think, and they're good on Ulm because we can prevent, they won't get killed by like magic, by Mind Hunt, because we can do basically infinite stealthy astral. So, I mean, that is an option. Spamming out Wraith Lords. It's not an option that I love, to be perfectly honest. Because I feel like they're going to be a lot slower than our other kind of thugs. Yeah, I just don't really love that idea exactly. Like, I would rather have really good troops. Anyway, that's our options there. In Alteration, there's not really too much for us. In Evocation, yeah, there's nothing we're going to be spending death gems on. This is a thing we might want. So Construction 9 is going to give us the Stygian Ferryman, and he has the, I think he's actually like like a Death Water Commander too. But he has an item which is bound to him, and it's cursed, which allows him to cast, Stygian Paths. So, Hypermobile Dead Commander, he's definitely something I probably want to spend my gems on. Definitely something I'd consider. Um, so that's one option, but we don't have construction 9 yet, but it's something we wanted to get anyway. So maybe we go ahead and queue it up so I can get... The other thing we want to get in construction 9 is Mirsha's workshop, which is how Yiss is running around with all those golem type of things. Okay. An enchantment, we have some interesting options. We have Visit Dis, which is a way to basically turn death gems. It would turn 10 death gems basically into a good bit of gold. And it's not that hard to cast. I think you can only... I'm not sure if you can do it multiple times per province. We'll have to test. But, yeah, you get about 400 gold and 200 resources. So casting it... Oh, can only be cast in caves. Yeah, I was going to say we could cast it in our cap, but we can't. So then the resources are going to be wasted. But, I mean, that's an option. I could honestly sell them for more than this. I could sell them for probably like 2 or 3 times that much. So, probably not great. Undead Guardians... probably not horrible. We have Vessel of Misery, which is what we've been doing. Lichcraft, which is always nice. And in Thaumaturgy, Soul Collectors, which there's an exploit with them, so these are part of Bozmos. They're getting removed in the next game. Black Death. Yeah, we've done enough of that already. A Leprosy. Yeah, I don't know. There's really nothing here either for us. So there's not a ton of stuff we have. I think right now, where I'm landing for Death Gems, we want a few of these guys, probably more Vessel of Misery casters, and maybe some... Or I think tarts are the other thing. So making the gear to do tarts will be a bit pricey. I think to really do tarts, we're going to need Lichcraft. So maybe we do like this. Okay, so anyway, we've talked our way through a bit how to handle this huge glut of death gems we have. We also have to figure out, the next thing we have to talk about is how are we going to handle our next move. On one hand, we're probably right up there with the, like, we're right up there with Yes. We're almost in position 1. If we go too much farther ahead, we're going to start attracting negative diplomacy. Right now, I think we're no longer, people are no longer going to be terribly nice to us. We're too big. But I think if we were to eat another nation, we'd be in trouble. And I think we want to time that for when we put up, like, Gift of Nature's Bounty. We can put that up at some point and then not care about eating other nations. But we're not quite there yet, if you feel me. But I'm very not happy about Marignon getting all of the Fall of Sorrow. But on one hand, it might be good for me, because if I got all of Fall of Sorrow, I might get coalitioned. And Yiss would love to attack me as part of a coalition. The other option I have, and I think that's my other main option, is to come down here and eat Marverni. And Marverni's got a lot of rich lands. So coming over here and eating this could be really nice. We can see that Bandar Log or whatever has just an enormous amount of garbage right here in Bogaroos. So we'll see. We have a nap with them, so I'm not really expecting them to attack. And I'm pretty confident I could kill all this, but anyway. Okay. So I think those are my options. Going after Marignon, after Marverni, would attract me a lot of negative Diplo. So I don't think I want to do that. But it may be my next best thing. I could attack Marignon, but attacking Marignon would be expensive, and it would attract other people in to attack me. And they've been a great ally so far. So I don't think I want to do that. I think my best bet is to finish off Marverni as my next conflict once this is done. And maybe I get a foothold on Sarl. Though that's going to depend basically on how well Vanheim does. Because if Vanheim doesn't do super well, there's not going to be much to say about it. So we'll see. This is the big Vanheim army rolling out this turn, though. And last turn out, we'll talk a little bit about artifacts real quick. I'm making, this turn we're making, I think up here, we're making Tomb of Forgotten Masons. And that is, I'll just click on it and show you. That is this item. And it gives you Mason, and it's cursed, and it's kind of expensive. And most of the time we're not going to want it, but it does allow us to take our citadels and turn them into grand citadels. Which, I think in certain places, like where I want to hold a strategic point, it's going to be valuable having more siege strength. So that's a thing. I think that's the main reason I would get it. The bonus in administration is not really worth the gold you pay to make a grand citadel. It would pay itself back eventually on like a capital or something, but very, very slowly. So yeah, we're building a ton of temples this turn too, trying to get our dominion spread out here. I probably need to go ahead and build... we need to build some more priests out in this part of the world. And get them busy going over here. Also, Micklin is dead, and we had done some free or delayed deferred payment, Flames from the Skies to Micklin, in exchange for his death basket. And so he's going to be sending us a big death basket, and part of what I have to do this turn is I have to... basically, I have to get all these items out of my inventory. So we'll be putting them... I might do some of it now, just to show you some of the tediousness we're left with here. But... yeah, we just have to get basically... This is not something, in my opinion, that you want to do. Like, generally, you want to keep... generally, you want to keep items in your inventory, not on commanders... especially in big games, because you lose track of them. There's like a limit to how much of this stuff you can keep track of in your head. And it's really annoying having to go through the menus to find where everything is. So we'll probably just come through here. This guy's casting Flames from the Sky at 588. And Utgard is in like a 3v1 right now. They're getting attacked by a ton of people. I know it's like Satis and TNN and... maybe one of the Marignons, and yes. And I don't want to know. He's offered to buy Flames from the Sky. I don't want to know who he's targeting, because for me it's just a transaction, and I don't want to know anything about it. But he's asked me to target this province, and then he's bought a few Mind Hunts from me, and I'm going to drop those out. So we'll just do that to kind of help him. He's one of the stronger players. But if he's going to be losing in a 3v1, I do want that to happen slowly. So I'm certainly fine to trade with him, basically. So anyway, we're just, wherever he wants us, we're going to accept, I think the payment in this case is just 20 fire gems. Which is cheaper than you can cast Flames from the Sky, but we're doing it with the rod. So that is happening. He's going to be targeting it also with Murdering Winter. And... oh, I gotta move this guy. Can this guy go to Old Vanheim? Ooh, he can make it all the way over here. So on top of Vanheim, just these thugs, they have a tremendous amount of siege strength. 8 per. So just from the thugs, we already have 230. So this fort is almost cracked. It's only 250. And we have coming in here a boatload of dudes. So I think what I'm going to do... I think actually these guys can crack... oh no, we can't quite make it. Okay. They're going to jump here. Wait, where was I clicking a second ago? Where I had a bunch of disease demons. Not even sure. We're moving these amphibious disease demons on top of Relay. And they will actually be able to siege through it in a few turns. They're how we're going to take Relay. We actually want to get it because this bonus 3 Astro is pretty valuable. Where? Oh, here's where they are. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move these guys on top of this fort. Their siege strength of 48. I think these guys in Payman, this guy, I think these are going to go over here. And we'll put a good hurting on this fort. We won't be able to crack it this turn. We should be able to crack it maybe next turn. But, you know, that being said, if I wanted to, I could do, like, send locusts or something, and that would probably be able to get there. But you can see mobility is super important. Like, my ground troops are just trudging around. And this war's been so fast, they haven't even had a chance to, like, get anywhere. But that's a good problem, I guess. I really want to go. Like, I want to be more aggressive right now, but I just don't think I can with diplomacy. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. And that's fine. That's actually fine. So, oh, I didn't show you. The other artifact we made recently was we made the Sunslayer, which is a pretty cool weapon. It allows you to cast Drain Life, gives you Death Magic +1, and gives you Darkness. Round 0, which is really nice for fighting a lot of different kinds of things. So good to have that in our retinue. I wonder if we have any demons that are at a lab that we could put these water bottles on. Don't see any. Oh, here. All right, this is the question. Can these guys make it to Relay? No, they can't. But I think we're going to give this guy, because I'm looking to fill up inventory spots. I think we'll put this Lycanthrope amulet on him too. And we are going to send him... How much movement is it to get over here? Something 24. Oh man, we're probably really close. I bet you this thing is 4 encumber 4 mat. Oh, mat move penalty at 2. Okay, we can't make it. Unless I had... No. Oh, he can make it. I'm going to send this guy... Chax. We should call him Chad. We're going to send this guy over here to New Relay. If I can actually click him. Yeah, 11 siege strength. Yes, sir. All right, where's this guy going? Okay, he actually is not going here. We'll send him up here. I believe we're moving my god over there too, to Old Vanheim. We'll send him in. I kind of want to steal a dwarf if I can. So we're going to send him in and have him just attack rear. Which will be kind of funny. And I think we'll put on him his little locket. And we'll just have him run around in the back. Yeah, I think that's going to be what he does. And I don't know if we'll do... I guess we'll send him in with a bit more stuff. Because I might do Hell Power, I might not. But yeah, anyway, he's going over to Old Vanheim. We'll have to figure out what to do. I'm going to save a lot of micro. There's a lot of micro that we're doing, but we're setting up the basis of what we're doing is we're blood hunting all of this. We're going to start turning this into blood hunting territory. And the way we're doing it is these vampires we've been summoning, we're going to be moving them out. And we're going to be joining them with some other dudes, like maybe this guy can come out and join. And yeah, we're basically just going to be getting a big, happy blood hunting family set up. We've got a bunch of chaff that for turns I've been getting this chaff out here, right? So it's been a long journey, but it's everybody has arrived. So it's time to get the chaff out of Gondwana, and we are going to send it hither and yon to get our blood hunting operation set up. And this guy can probably come over here. And yeah, we're going to get this stuff blood hunted. We're probably pulling in like almost 700 blood slaves a turn if I had to guess. A lot. Some of that we've completely burnt out, like Ormond's down to 0 population, so we've stopped blood hunting here finally. But yeah, we're casting a ton of Curse of Blood. We're getting 2 new Vampire Lords, and then they'll in turn be able to do 2 more Curses of Vampire every turn, which is going to be very nice. Though it's going to give us even more Death Gems. The reason we have so many Death Gems, not only do we have a solid income of 60, but we're casting a bunch of Reaping of Souls, and that turns corpses into Death Gems. And on top of that, we're getting, I don't know, 10 or 20 gems a turn from all the vampires we summon. So it's a pretty staggering amount. And we have to figure out what the hell we're going to do. I really want to be aggressive now, though, guys. Like, you don't get vampires and not be aggressive. But the problem is, I'm probably going to start getting coalitioned soon if I keep this up. So it's a hard decision to make. I think what we're going to do, I think this is the play. We're going to get this. We're going to get this all fortified and entrenched, but not like fully fortified and entrenched. Like, we're going to start doing it. We're going to start moving troops in. We'll start getting some blood hunting operations going. I'm going to start building up my presence on Aselun. We've already got a fair amount of mages, and then we're going to come down here and start eating. And by start, I mean, we're going to like Alpha Strike and take all of Marverni's stuff in one turn. And have like a sizable presence here on Aselun. That will trigger a war with like these guys, but that's actually fine. And if I time this right, like in 5 or 6 turns, it's very possible that will not trigger a war with Marignon and Ulm. I mean, Marignon and Ur. And if that doesn't happen, then it's unlikely Yiss is going to join. So, yeah, that's what's basically going to happen. We're taking this cave system here with vampires. Devils are coming in. I think we're okay. This actually may be a little... This may be a little suspicious here. Can we survive devils? We're definitely going to need a better armor if we're going to have a shot. And their main thing... We already have an invulnerability. I think we'll be okay. Our protection versus mundane is very high. I think we'll be okay. I think we want turn 1... Oh no, skeletal body's good too here. No, but I think we want turn 1 soul vortex. I think that's more important. And... yeah, so hopefully we yoink this. Actually, I'm going to give him a couple more gems. Just do that. He doesn't really need a blood slave. But yeah, I think we're going to build up a presence here. We already have enough mages where we're getting a bunch of shadow demons or shadow imps. Once I get them properly infiltrated in Marverni, we can just Alpha Strike and take all of his stuff. We don't have a nap with him or anything. And I'll probably do it where I would love to master and slave one of his armies. But doing that with one of these guys will be tricky. Because master and slave, which I have researched, so we can do it, you have to be Astral 8. So with gear, I could get him up to 7, 8, 6, 7. And then Power of the Spheres could be 8. But he probably still needs a communion. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I mean, the boars would be super vulnerable to it. But I think the way to do it would be to have some of these guys sneaking around, and then I could magic phase on top of them and jump into a communion. I think that's how you do it. I probably could use a banner of the Northern Star, come to think of it. We're building a temple here. I think these idiots should probably be patrolling. Seems fine. These guys are researching. These guys can wait. We also have a pathway onto Aselun now because we have this fort. So I could sneak a bunch of these guys in, which maybe is what I should go ahead and do. We could also start getting more mages, which I think we also should do. So I think we're going to keep a large portion of this army on the star, but I think the mages we're going to go ahead and send in. Because I'm going to need at least like 4 mages to properly set up a little trap here for like master and slave bullshit. Let's have this guy move over this way. But yeah, I think that's basically it. I think we've kind of talked through my plan now. It feels good saying it. But yeah, we're going to finish off Vanheim. If Marignon gets feisty, we'll go after them, but probably not. We're probably going to come over here, finish off Marverny. That may trigger a war with Bandarlog, in which case we'll fight them and probably Abyssia. And that will result in eating them potentially very, very quickly. So I think the timing of this is important, because like if people coalition me, I probably need to be sort of ready to cast Gift of Nature's Bounty. But I don't want to do that quite yet. I think I want to wait till like turn 85 or something to do that. So it'll be a ways. But anyway, guys, thank you all for joining, and I will see you next time.